And good Friday evening, and thanks for joining us tonight. The snow started falling early this afternoon, and there have been dozens of crashes as a result.
And this is really just the beginning. Yeah. This is sort of a preview of what we are going to expect from this very intense winter blast. We picked up about 2 inches of snow out at the airport so far, but we may get a little bit of a lull this evening before the really heavy weather starts moving in. Let's go to Doppler radar, and we can see a little bit of a back edge to the snow that's moving through the region. As you head to the south of I-90, although there are some pockets of snow, we're seeing more of a rain-snow mix. That is certainly not the trend, and then snow heavy in spots as we head to the north. But again, looks like we may start to see things taper off a little bit this evening before they really start picking up again overnight and through most of the day on Saturday. Expect not only snow, but blowing snow. Here is the winter storm warning that is in effect. It has been expanded to include most of the Palouse. As you can see, we are still expecting in the basin, the Columbia Basin, 2 to 6 inches of snow in the valleys, including the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area. 8 to 12 inches of snow through Sunday morning. In the mountains, up to 2 feet of snow. And again, with the blowing and drifting snow, we could see drifts much higher than that. That is going to be especially problematic tomorrow down on the Palouse, where the winds are going to be a little bit stronger than further north around the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area. The winter storm warning goes through Sunday morning. And along with that wind, we are also going to see that very cold air we've been talking about. Our temperatures right now are right around freezing in Coeur d'Alene, 34 degrees in Spokane. This is as warm as it's going to be potentially for a week, maybe even more. We're going to start to see these numbers drop. We're going to bottom out around 26 degrees overnight and then see the temperatures plummet even further into the teens as we head into the middle of the day tomorrow. We'll be down in the single digits by tomorrow night and getting even colder overnight. Starting to see the snow taper off tomorrow night as well, but then the cold really settles in. I'll let you know how cold it's going to get, have more on how much snow you can expect at your house, and tell you about more storms showing up in the 7-day later in the forecast. Dave?
All right, Kris. The snow and rain are making for dangerous conditions on the road tonight. KXLY4 Sally Showman live in the Lincoln Heights area of the South Hill. And Sally, snow conditions right now. Can you take a look at them?
Dave, the arterials are in much better shape than the side streets up here on the South Hill. I'm standing on 29th, and you can see cars are getting along pretty well. The road is mainly wet. It's been sanded and plowed quite a few times. We've seen those sanding trucks out here, but it's a different story on the side streets. You can see I'm standing on stone, and there's a couple of inches of accumulation on the road here, and it's a very slick, slippery, wet snow, and so that's what's causing for some problems with drivers. At the station, we first started hearing about accidents around 1:30 or 2 o'clock this afternoon. One car lost control. This woman lost control of her car while coming down Medelia Street. For those of you who are unfamiliar, it's a very steep hill on the South Hill, and she slammed into a school bus headed up the South Hill on Southeast Boulevard. No kids were on board, and there were no injuries, but again, that driver was very shaken. Another accident happened on 29th near where I'm standing. A car just couldn't stop and slammed into the car in front of him at a stoplight, rear-ended him. So these are all great reminders for drivers out there to just slow down tonight, because these wet roads right now are just going to start getting icy overnight. And it can get scary out there. I also wanted to mention, I was down the street at Alton's Tires a couple of minutes ago, and they said they have a line of 42 cars waiting to get their snow tires on. So people are really gearing up for this storm, because the worst is, I think, yet to come. Reporting in Spokane, I'm Sally Showman, KXLY4 HD News.
That is right, Sally. The worst is certainly yet to come, but there are so many slide-offs and crashes already in North Idaho. The state police is asking everyone to stay off the roads unless it's absolutely necessary. KXLY4's Annie Bishop shows us one crash that involved a trooper on Highway 95.
And I'm Annie Bishop, and we're here along Highway 95 in Government Way. As you can see, it is snowing. The roads are extremely slick. In fact, this is the fourth fender bender, or a car sliding off the road, the fourth crash that we've seen since leaving Sandpoint this afternoon. From what I'm told, this car rear-ended this car, who then rear-ended an Idaho State Police car. Now, no one's available to talk to us right now about this because there's a lot going on. In fact, this Idaho State Police officer right here is heading off to another accident near Cougar Gulch Road and Highway 95. The message right now is to slow down and allow plenty of distance between yourself and the cars in front of you. Reporting along Highway 95, Annie Bishop, KXLY4 HD News.
Well, not long after the snow started falling, drivers started crashing into each other and ditches.
We all know we need to slow down and be prepared when driving in this stuff, but there's a lot more we need to be aware of when we're on the roads. KXLY4's Tori Brunetti live in downtown Spokane. Tori, paying attention to your driving is only half the battle.
Yeah, just because your driving is good doesn't mean you're completely safe from an accident. You really need to watch out for the other drivers on the road. Joining me now is Trooper Mark Baker with Washington State Patrol. First off, you've been getting notices of crashes on your phone. How are things out there right now?
Well, it's been very busy since 3 p.m. this afternoon when the snow started to hit. Busiest on the West Plains, but throughout the area and the outlying areas. Responded to right around 50 collisions so far today.
Okay, well now let's talk about how we prevent some of those collisions. What should drivers really be looking out for?
Well, I need to really increase your following distance and really be careful of your particular speed. Protect yourself by wearing your seat belt. And then when you're doing all that, you need to just realize that there are drivers out there that may be impaired, may be that they don't care about their driving. So really increase the following distance, maybe threefold from what you usually do as far as, just traveling down the roadway.
Now, the rule of thumb is 1 car length for every 10 miles per hour you're going, and you say almost double that?
Well, at least double that on compact snow and ice, correct.
Okay, now let's talk about braking and accelerating. It's a whole different ballgame out there when the roads get slick and the snow starts piling on.
All right, that stop sign or that stop light, you're going to need at least 3 times the distance to get stopped on that on compact snow and ice. So definitely they're smooth braking, smooth on the gas. We've talked about it before, but a lot of our collisions occur going up, maybe, for example, Sunset Hill, where somebody's at the bottom climbing the hill and getting on the gas too quickly and spinning out.
All right, thank you so much. I know you're very busy. I appreciate your time.
You bet.
And also eliminate distractions, turn off the radio, put down those cell phones, take those even hands-free devices out of your ear. Guys.
All right, Tori, thanks. The Stevens County Sheriff's Department is expecting such a whipping from the storm. It's asking everyone to stay home and off the roads between now and Sunday morning. This will allow county road and emergency crews to clear roadways and take care of emergency situations without having to worry about other drivers. The sheriff also says know what the weather is doing before venturing outdoors.